After being locked away, these animals are finally getting their first taste of freedom. No more cages, no more bars, just open space and a chance to live the way they were meant to. Watch their incredible reactions as they step into the wild for the very first time.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Just fine. Let's do that again. There you go, Pumpkin. Go find your mom. Hey, they like it. Y'all get to do that.
After months of care, some turtles were released into the ocean, and who says turtles are slow? They glided into the water with surprising speed, as if they had never left and knew the ocean like home, which actually is. This tiger strayed into a residential area and clashed with a group of dogs. He was safely captured by forest officials and now relocated back to the jungle in this rescue operation, but I guess he is not happy with the treatment of the forest officials. During this release, one of the leopards jumped aggressively toward the gathered audience, coming dangerously close to a seated woman. Fortunately, no injuries occurred, and the leopard swiftly ran into the jungle. 4 trucks carrying cages filled with birds, and as the cages opened, hundreds of them soared into the sky, likely experiencing true freedom for the first time, returning to the natural home they were always meant for. These 5 beautiful creatures were relocated back to their original African habitat, and without wasting a moment, they rushed toward the jungle, instantly blending into the home they truly belong to. This Charolais bull was released into a farm full of cows, and with his massive size, muscular build, and commanding presence, he quickly became the center of attention, clearly admired by all the ladies in the herd. This tiger waited eagerly in his cage, wondering what was going on. Little did he know he was about to taste freedom for the first time in a long while. Seeing his chance and noticing that no one was stopping him, he bolted out of the cage and into the wild. This grizzly bear didn't even wait for the gates to rise up completely before he scrambled under and jumped off the truck into freedom. Seagulls are usually quite jumpy, but this particular fella had some second thoughts about leaving immediately. He actually waited a bit as if uncertain about leaving his old family, but he eventually chose his true home. And this grizzly's first act of freedom, absolutely demolishing the camera like it owed him money, rent, and an apology. The cage door swings open, and for a split second, it's a beautiful emotional moment. Nature reclaiming its child. Then bam! One swipe and the camera goes flying like it was part of a WWE promo. This baby seal, finally out in the open after who knows how long. The cage opens, and you'd think he'd go full action movie mode. Flippers flying, dramatic leap toward destiny, but nope. Instead, he just kind of flops out onto the grass, blinks slowly, and looks around like, wait, where's the water? After being rehabilitated from an injury, this great vulture was finally deemed 100% fit and then sent back into his natural habit. Rehabilitated chimp slowly walks away. As he noticed that he was free, instead of running away gleefully without a second thought, he doubled back and climbed the very cage he just left, before giving the old woman who raised him a giant hug. Such an emotional moment before his final departure. Eagles are the true icons of freedom in the animal kingdom, and they honestly should never be pinned down. This particular majestic eagle was from his wooden box and wasted no time in soaring into the cold, snowy sky. Our jaguar here was taken back to the jungle where he belonged, but he did something new. Instead of blasting off immediately his cage was open, he took his time and looked around. Seeing that everything was in order, he proceeded to skip away into sweet freedom. This tigress must have thought it was her lucky day when the gates to her facility were opened. However, it was the routine process by her human saviors into letting her back in the wild. Still, the tigress hopped away slowly, almost not believing her luck. A golden swan is as majestic as they come in the animal kingdom, and this one really took her time before embracing the river once again. But you can't take the swan out of Golden Swan. One step in the water, and she was already on her way. You have to feel for animals in captivity sometimes, even though it might be for their own good. It's sad to see them caged up. This mountain lion specifically must have really prayed for this day to come because it absolutely bolted the moment the gates were open. Coot is released and follows in the same way by taking no chances at freedom, interchanging between flying, jumping, and even running on water into freedom. This big boy elephant wasn't so nice and calm when his chains were lifted and his gates were opened. Even his captors, who were trained military men, had to bolt out of the way to avoid getting crushed by his fury. Elephants, despite their size, can run really quickly, and this one was no exception, bolting into the trees in no time, and so quickly that even the cameras and choppers couldn't spot him. Here's another elephant that was released, but this one was calmer than his bro. Everyone still ran away from his massive stomping, but the elephant gently slid down the ramp and smoothly got to the ground. He did take one last look at the truck before turning away into freedom. This hippo was taken to a carefully selected location to be released, and his cage was open us onto a small hill. Upon his release, he carefully made his way into a small pond and quickly joined up with his friend, just like he never left. This monkey was properly considered and taken deep into the forest away from predators. To be released, the officials in charge made sure he got out in a safe spot. Despite being a bad monkey by breaking into a village, the local authorities were lenient and captured him safely before releasing him back into his home. This cheetah wasted no time in showing its speed by bolting out of his cage immediately it was opened at Kuno National Park. These rhino calves were orphaned and had to be taken in. Once they were taken care of, the rangers left them in an open ranch so they could wander away into freedom. The birds here were released by the Tar Foundation. This was after they were saved from being sold in the black market. Funny thing, once their cages were opened, not all of them were eager to leave until the ranger gave them a little push into freedom. This local policeman was tasked with releasing this vulture. The vulture was found injured and had to be taken into a vet. Later on, the policeman gave him a free ride before gently setting him free into the horizon. These rangers here walked miles deep into the woods just so they could give freedom to these tortoises who were set to be sold off without their help. Being tortoise, they could only walk slowly away into their natural homes, but they were definitely grateful for the help.